So we're in Clovis, California. We just did a small sink repair here. This bathroom was, looks like a partial remodel, maybe just countertops, a bit of paint on the cabinets. Someone came in and set these faucet, nice looking Moen faucet. Unfortunately, the drain was not assembled correctly. The old P-trap, which is sitting in the garbage right there, did not line up with the new sink. Usually when you set new sinks, nothing lines up with that new hole. But they tried to reuse it. It was quite an extreme angle. It was leaking, so we just pulled it out. Before we pulled it out, we did test it, and we noticed that this drain assembly was leaking as well. This comes with the faucet, so you had water leaking down to there, which either you didn't get enough piped up in there, or enough putty, or you spun it while you were tightening it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. All we know is we took this whole drain assembly back out, so that nut came out. All of this came back out. Got everything puttied up and put back together. And second thing we did is we cut this pipe all the way back toward the wall. Went ahead and put an adapter on. First adapter is glued on at the wall, as you can see. And then we put a little extension there because the sink hole is so far out that the trap doesn't reach it. So we put in a little extension piece on there, tubular, and then a tubular P-trap. And then, of course, the drain is low, so another tubular extension to get up to the tailpiece, tied it back in. We've run a bunch of water down it, and everything looks good. So that's the scope of work in this bathroom. Everything is repaired. Everything looks good. We'll warrant the work that we've done, which is, of course, you know, the trap adapter and the extension piece, the tubular trap, and the other extension here, and, of course, the installation of the drain. And that is, of course, if there's an abuse, you know, or normal wear and tear, you know, we don't cover that. But anyways, that's it. Everything looks good. We're going to head to the next bathroom, and when we get done, we'll take another video. So here in Clovis, California, we just finished installing this Moen faucet provided by the homeowner. We did some work in the other bathroom as well. And that faucet was already installed. We already went through that. We told you what we're going to warrant as far as the work on that one. We did install this faucet completely, and it is the Brantford in brushed nickel. So that's what we installed right there. And I'm not sure where they got it, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever. Anyways, faucet's installed. Nice looking faucet. We've tested it out hot and cold. Unfortunately, we blew the lines out through the faucet. So we pulled the aerator and blew it out because we'd already hooked up down below. They're integrated supplies. We'd already hooked up, and we didn't have any. We should have taken some supplies and blown the lines out first. We didn't. In doing that, of course, these faucets are all hollow. So once you open that up and try and divert the water, you know, so it's not splashing everywhere, inadvertently water goes up the top, kind of goes around, and it's hollow in there, and it drops down. So we got some water down here, and we dried it up. No big deal. It's all dried. We got the aerator back in and tightened up. That's the main thing. And once you get the aerator tightened up, everything seals nicely. So faucet is installed. Existing valves are not ours. Those are Worsbo or U-Ponner valves. So they are expanded. The piping is expanded, and the fitting, the shutoff valve goes right into that. So the only way to repair those is cut the plastic, unfortunately. The supply lines are integrated into the faucet, so those do not belong to us, the hot and the cold part of the faucet. But we did, the point of connection is ours, obviously, because we installed it. And so everything looks good on that. I need one more thing. Like I say, we got quite a bit of water down here, and I want to make sure that we can see that nothing is dripping. And so everything looks good. Had a little bit of drop of water left there that I didn't get dried off. So all the supply lines look good. We did go ahead and cut back this waste, took out the old P-trap that was in there, and put in an adapter and a tubular P-trap, and then a little shorty extension right there. So trap, extension, installed the drain. Everything looks good in here. There's no dripping out of the drain, no dripping out of the tailpiece extension that came with it. The brushed nickel portion there screwed in, and then of course our trap extension here and P-trap. Everything looks good. Bottom, everything looks good. Top. What's that?
The stopper.
Stopper does work or doesn't work?
Does, I'm just saying.
Does work? Okay. Oh, yeah, one thing we do want to mention is when they drilled this hole, maybe we can get a little video of that. You know, this is something you always work with your, whoever's doing your remodeling, is they drilled this hole. What we like to do is set this sink as far forward as possible, and it's pretty far forward. You got about another ½ an inch you could have moved this sink forward, and the reason why, that sink, you can see there's still quite a bit of room to move it forward. So always move your sink as far forward as possible, and then in the back you want to drill your hole about 2 inches back. And so what they did, they went ahead and drilled the hole, but they drilled it back too far. Fine, so that's great for mounting because you can see the mounting bracket up there, lots of room. Unfortunately, this lift rod, so you got a rod down here that ties into the lift rod that goes up and down and in turn attaches to this piece of plumber's tape. So this rod up here, when you go to activate it, it's hitting the wall, and that's because the faucet is mounted. The whole faucet was drilled. The faucet hole was drilled so far back that it hits. So we've got it down as far as we can go. You can see the adjustment we've got here. It's right at the bottom of the rod, and so that's as far down as we can go. And when you lift it up, it does close, but you know it does hit that back wall. So there's nothing we can do with that. That's not a plumbing thing. You can see you had up here, right in here, you had at least another inch. You could have drilled this forward and it would have fit perfect up there, but it's not. So anyways, what's done is done. Hopefully that functions for you well enough. And again, I'm just drying up a little more of that residual water that we got down here when we tested or blew out the lines. So anyway, everything looks good in this bathroom as well. Outside of that, this installation is done.